Welcome to the Art of Asking class call. So this is one of the topics that's been kinda percolating in my universe for the last 6 months at least, and and it's kind of like with my mind I kind of understand you have to ask and then you receive and then blah blah blah, but it feels like it still hasn't hit me like. That's how it works, even though I actually know that it works that way. And there are so many, I don't even know what things are kind of popping around this topic, and that I can't kind of get my head around, especially when it comes to like proactive asking, conscious asking, and actually kind of get it. What do I mean by that? Because throughout my life I have noticed that I ask for something and then it show up in at some point in life, and it's usually when I receive it I realize that that is something what I asked for. But then there are things that like really, like for example today I need I don't know, potatoes, and actually um yeah, that's kind of really easy because you can actually go to the shop and just buy it and you can actually receive it. But let's say you're asking, like for example, there are not that many people signing up for my classes, even the free ones, as I wished they would sign up for. And so I kind of think I've been asking for those people to show up. Even I kind of know that what I offer to people is something really good and they can benefit from it. But at the same time, I think I'm asking, but it's actually not showing up. So, from my point of view, I kind of see that it's not showing up, even though I know that they the universe needs the time to rearrange itself and actually change something in the order of things to actually make it happen. Or like for example, like really good example, like many years ago I heard, I think it was Louise Hayes, talk about, she was asking for a house, and she was asking for it, she was asking for it, and nothing was showing up. And only when she actually got the house, I can't remember, I think it was within a year, she got the house she was asking for, and only then she realized that when she was asking for the house actually hadn't been built at the time, so it couldn't show up like tomorrow. Universe has to, when she asked for it, universe had to go out and actually create the house because it didn't exist on the planet Earth at the time. And so these are all the aspects that I would like to include in today's call, to actually being aware when something that you are asking for, you actually ask for it, but its universe is rearranging itself. So what does that actually mean to be aware of that it happens? Because for me, I usually, my default mode for when I ask for something is, like when you plant a seed and actually then go like next day, if it didn't appear out of the ground, I want to go and actually see what's happening underneath that soil, and it's actually disrupts the creation process. And today, just before the call was starting, I was thinking, I'm done with this thing. I'm done with not trusting the universe that it's actually gonna deliver me what I'm asking for. And another thing is not blindly trust that universe is actually gonna deliver it, because sometimes it is. You ask for something and you walk down the street and it poof, it's there. But very often you actually have to be aware of what's happening around. You have to notice the clues from the universe. You have to be aware when you actually have to take action of something. And then there are other things, like many years ago, I heard someone say that if you haven't got what you asked for, that means you actually haven't asked for it. And I know I covered it something in somewhere else. So how do you know that you actually asked for it? You think you asked for it, but you actually haven't asked for it. Like energetically, you actually haven't asked for it. And haven't asked for it. And so how, like, cause when I kind of compare the energies, but it's usually like almost like after the fact. It's there is like really good saying, future proves the past, and it's basically you only know what the situation of the situation only after you actually received it. So for example, if you ask for the house, like in Louise Hay's situation, you ask for the house and it's not showing up, and after 6 months you got the house, and only then you know why you didn't receive it like 6 months ago. And and this is kind of this tricky situation. Like, how do you know that? So it has all these different ingredients. Like it's you have to have and you have to live in a sort of sense of uncertainty. Then you have to have some sort of trust, because you have to trust that whatever you are asking for is gonna come to you. That you actually have. It's actually that you have. Um, uh, I lost the train of thought. It's basically because you have to trust that universe is gonna deliver. You have to trust yourself that you're not gonna miss all the clues and notes that comes from the universe, and you're not gonna miss the nudges to actually take an action. And then you have to have a congruence. A congruence is another thing that you need to have. Did I say it right? Congruence? I hope you know what I mean. And I actually gonna check the meaning. So basically you have to, congruent means that whatever you ask for, your energy matches it. Like for example, if you ask for the house in by the sea with big garden, lots of light, lots of space, you actually have to be congruent energetically that you're gonna live in the house. You have to see yourself living in that kind of house, because universe likes the universe delivers to the energy of whatever you're asking. It's not gonna deliver of the picture you are asking for. And this is one of the trickiest things, because sometimes if we ask for, let's say, like for example, I want to have let's say 100 people sign up for my classes. Am I congruent with that ask, like energetically? Because I kind of wish for it, and then this wishful thinking that's you actually not asking, you just wish for it. it's almost like you walk in a supermarket and you haven't walked into the actual supermarket, but you wish to buy bread. And so just because you stand outside of the supermarket and wish for the bread, it doesn't mean it's actually gonna happen, unless you're a really good creator and someone's gonna come out of the supermarket and actually just hand the bread to you. So that's another level of creation. But yeah, that's kind of like a side note. But congruence, you have to energetically be almost like be that house, be that situation when 100 people do sign up for your class, or you have 20 clients a week, paid clients a week, or you have this awesome car, or you have this relationship. And this is where comes all these tools in hand, because you can actually, you have, like, when it comes to wishful thinking and asking, it's kind of all tied in together. And congruence, because when you just wishfully think for something, you are actually not congruent with your ask, because you're actually not willing to go in the supermarket and buy that bread. So when you actually become the energy of what you ask, when you actually become the congruent with what you ask, you actually that's your ask. And sometimes you don't even have to say it out loud. You actually have to send out, because universe doesn't speak in language as we do. Universe speaks the energy of language of energy. And it's basically your energetic ask is what is sending signals into the universe. I'm actually now noticing how I'm actually thinking as I'm sitting here and universe is out there. I am in the universe. I'm the universe. We are all in the universe. So, yeah. Okay, never mind. That's something else I kind of noticed. And so, how do you become congruent if you are not congruent? You have to work with your energy. You have to work with the things that you are asking for. Like for example, if I already decided that I'm not gonna have something, I need that thing, but all the time I keep thinking, oh, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it, I want that, and I don't have it. And the energy is like really yucky and mucky and so on and so on. And it's almost like in a case, universe might already have this thing. It's knocking on your door, but you're not answering the door. And so you're actually missing, because in a sense universe kind of knows that that's thing that what you're asking for, but it can't deliver it to you because you're not there to receive. A few months ago, I have central heating in my house, and I use wooden pellets uh, to work the central heating. And I knew I need to have those pallets. At the time I didn't have money to actually buy them, but I kind of knew I need to have them. So I kind of sent out in the universe that that's what I need. I need the wooden pallets, and I kind of forgot about them, because at the time I had some, and so it wasn't like super urgent. And that's it. I left it. And then I did one of the recordings. It's actually light language transmission, and that's a free one in my shop. money come. So I did this recording, money come, money come. It was like I don't know why I did it. It just came to me. And every light transmission that I do changes energy for me. Not just for me, in the universe and everyone who is listening to it. And literally half an hour later, my dad calls me and asks me, do I need wooden pallets? I was like, yeah, I do need. And I said, okay, we will be at your place in an hour or so. And they actually brought me to tons, I don't know how to pronounce it, tons, TONNS. It's like loads of, a very heavy load of two pallets of wooden pallets. And it was like literally like a miracle, because I hadn't thought about having wooden pallets for a few days. And when I did the money come transmission, I actually energetically changed something, and I never felt like I'm not gonna get those wooden pallets. And that's another component of when you ask for something. You have to ask for it like there is no doubt that you are gonna have it. Because what usually destroys something is when we when we think and feel low vibrations when we think of something. Like when we think of I'm not gonna get this is not gonna work, and blah 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 and blah blah blah. This is actually what is killing your ask. And like yeah, that's so. And so how do you change it? And it's like one of those tricky things, because sometimes we don't really notice how we think and how we feel about things or something. And then we kind of noticed that our thinking and feeling is not really positive or high vibration. And then we start to and then we think, and we can't change it or don't want to change it. Usually we don't want to change it. Like I've been it's almost like I've been actively thinking about how I think lately. And I do and there's so much things happening. Like for example, and it's Danny, if you have any questions, just ask in the chat. Like I don't know where my train of thought is going. And at the end, as always, I'm gonna have light transmissions to clear those things, but I'm clearing as I'm going as well. Because sometimes even when we notice something, we don't actually want to change it. Like I know that I'm thinking people don't like my classes, I'm not good enough, I'm blah 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 blah. And I kind of know that that's what I'm thinking. I know that that thing is actually what's destroying what I'm asking, but I'm actually not willing to change it. I'm not willing to actually do whatever it takes to actually change it. Even though that change energy is actually not that difficult. It's sometimes even use any energetic tools. Sometimes even walk outside. It could be even singing and dancing. You need to do anything to change the energy. And you have to, it's almost like sometimes you actually have to catch that thought. Because sometimes that thought just comes and goes. But sometimes it's almost like you have to catch it by the tail and hold on to it. And it's almost like dissect it. until it actually dissipates. And that's one of the really hardest things, is not because it's actually hard, it's actually because we don't actually want to do that. So so often we actually want for something, we ask for something, but we are actually not willing to do whatever it takes. And I think that I did a really good recording about the universe and trusting the universe. I think it's on my YouTube channel. It's because one of the things that we like, this doing whatever it takes kind of scared me when I heard it a few years ago. And I wasn't willing to do whatever it takes because I didn't want to know what that thing that I will have to do is, because I made it as a worst case scenario. I thought that if I have a like, let's say if I have my own business, for example, and I make so much money in let's say months or year, I will have to do something really horrible that I'm not willing, that I don't want to do, like maybe that I you distracted me, Danny. Like what I was saying? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I wasn't willing to know what it is that I am supposed to do, because I made the like, for example, I thought that if I have a business and I make, let's say, $100,000 or euros a month, I will have to do something really horrible. Like, for example, I don't know, go join some kind of mafia or gang. Or maybe I will have to work 24/7 and never have a rest in my life. Or I will have to work with horrible people. And so I wasn't actually willing to. And already at that point, I decided that I am not willing to do whatever it takes. And even though to create a business, like for example currently mine, previous one, it was very easy to do, because I only had to make a list of things that I can do, put my price and post it on Facebook. That's not difficult at all. But that was before I heard this. Are you willing to do whatever it takes? And now I kind of feel like that thing is what is actually holding me back, because even my current business, like what does it take to actually create my current business? Like setting up free class and inviting people in, and then doing actual class like I'm doing now. And it's not actually that difficult, and it's not horrible. I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing. But at the same time, when you energetically are not willing to do that, it actually kind of works against you. So that's another thing I kind of would like to clear. So let's see what Danny says. So far, I'm pretty aligned to what you're saying. Sometimes it's about something I really want to create or have, and I believe I'm keeping my focus on the end result. But it's getting closer to the deadline, so I panic because I'm thinking I'm never going to be able to get it. I want to get rid of this last minute panic or last minute sense of giving up. That's a good point, Danny. Whew, get lots of goosebumps, because that's for me as well. Is yeah, that's so much energy, and yeah, like I think that's one of the things I mentioned. And then there is another side of the coin that we wait to the last minute to create it, and then we have to rush and blah blah blah. So yeah, let's create la. Ooh, let's change that to two. Oh my god, I can't talk today. And that's one only superstition that I have left. Touch the wood. My cat just made a really funny noise. Shh, Coco. Okay, sorry. I don't know if you heard that thing. You know, like when you're snoring and you make a like really high pitched noise. It's so funny. And so yeah, asking. And another big thing about asking for something is we don't actually know what we want. And that is one of the biggest issues, especially when like one of the reasons why I created this class was my parents when I was growing up, they were making choices for me. I kind of felt like it's almost like all my life I felt like it's not me who chooses for me. It's someone else who does it for me. And I didn't even realize until later in life that I have a choice. I can actually choose. And that's another thing that still hadn't got to the kind of depth of my being. I still somewhere believe that I don't have a choice, that someone else is gonna make a choice for me. Someone else is actually, like, for example, when it comes to, let's say, if I want to have 100 people in my classes, it's not me who is choosing that, it's them. They have to choose me. And that's a pretty hard task to do, because it means I have to go in the world and find those people and convince them to come to my class. And as I'm saying, it actually becomes really harder, hard and hard. So what if I actually chose, like, for example, what if I hired the universe to actually do that for me? Like, for example, universe, I would like to have 100 people in my classes, at least 100 people in my classes, paid people in my classes, in paid classes. I'm obviously still want to do free ones as well. And so I actually tell universe, this is what I would like to ask. Can you please find all these people who are willing to actually come to my class? Because if you, like, what I've noticed in my previous things that I have asked, like, I remember I was living at my parents' house. I recently moved back from UK, and my parents live in the middle of nowhere. There's only like a tiny village nearby, and there's no much work prospects. And so for the first few months, I worked in a local petrol station, and that was just a temporary job, because even on week 2, I decided I don't want to do it. So I remember myself walking home, and it's almost like looking at the sky and thinking, there must be someone out there who wants what I have. And so I asked the universe to connect me with those people. So if you think of your own, like, let's say it's a business, you want to ask something about your business, and like, let's say, attract more clients. Like, ask, what if you ask the universe to connect you with those people who is actually willing to come to you, and be open to that thing? Because this is one thing we kind of forget. that we forget to include universe, we forget to include God, we forget to include everything around us in our asks. We forget to ask nature to contribute to our whatever we are creating. And what if we actually included all this? Because we are not alone in this world. And that's another thing I would like to kind of clear, that we have to do everything ourselves. We have to, like, it's, I don't know where this come from, but it doesn't really matter, because that thing, again, is really kind of deep within me, and maybe in you too, that that it's almost like it's so deeply bad that you ask for something to contribute to you or help you. And so what if we let that go as well? Okay, let's go back to the, do you actually know what you want in life? And yeah, so most of my life, because I didn't think I am the choosing one, it's I don't have to ask, because I'm not gonna have what I want to have because someone else is making choice for me, and that person is actually not asking me for what I want. And so I had to learn to actually, it's almost like walk for the first time in this sense. And I don't know, I might start myself new challenge again to actually ask for something daily. And you have to, I have to, and you have to if you want to. I'm not forcing. To actually ask, what do you actually want? Like, and actually start noticing where you are not congruent with what you're asking. What is it that comes up when you're like, I'm actually creating a 7-day money challenge where this is actually the case. When you ask for something and you notice what actually comes up, what are your limiting beliefs, what are your voices in your head telling you, because we have to become aware of these things and clear those things. And and it's not enough just to clear something, all these obstacles. It's because clearing obstacles, only obstacles, is like if you want to go to the let's say you want to go for a walk and your destination is let's say lake that is few miles or kilometers away, and that's your destination, that's where you want to get to the lake. And so oh no, that's not the case. Forget, scratch all that thing. Like, for example, you want something, like, let's say you want money, and you want money. You haven't asked how much you want, and you actually haven't worked on anything, and so on and so on. You haven't actually asked for it, and you just clear everything that comes up when it comes to money. And 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 so you start to clear all these things that comes up, but you actually never actually took the first step to get closer to money. Like, because you kind of cleared energies and the like stuff, some money might come in, but it's actually not gonna come in like substantially because you hadn't actually didn't put the number and you didn't set the course for when you want to go. It's like going in a sea and you don't have a destination, and you just wander around, floating in circles and pondering, where the hell am I? Why I'm not getting where I want to go, when you actually haven't asked for where you want to go. And you constantly clear the deck to make a smooth ride, but you actually, if you don't set the course, it's no point really to clear the road or a path. It's not really a good example, but I hope you get the gist. And so you actually, these things has to work simultaneously. You ask for something and you clear obstacle. You ask for something, you clear obstacle. You ask for something, you clear obstacle. For me, the most the biggest obstacle is usually my default mode where I go to is doubt. And oh, poor me, nobody loves me, nobody wants to give me money, and nobody wants to come to my classes, and so on, so on. So I actually started to work on it proactively, to actually change, to listen to these voices that comes in my head and clearing them, becoming aware of them, and kind of dissecting them and clearing them with different energies. And so I'm gonna probably start the transmission, because there are not many questions from the audience. Never mind. So I actually would like to clear all these obstacles, all not obstacles, all these default modes where we go to when we ask for something, like I can't do it, I can't have it, it's not possible, I don't deserve it. Then I want to clear anything that doesn't allow us actually to ask for it. Because many times we don't ask for something because we already decided that we can't have it. Or again, this I'm not good enough, I don't deserve it. And make a process of asking so much easier, and clear the thing where we decided I don't know what I want, because that's one that's kind of biggie. Because if I don't know what I want, so how I'm actually gonna create something? Because universe is almost like sitting there with a notepad and waiting for something, waiting for orders in a sense. And because a couple days ago I kind of got into Dolores Cannon stuff recently, and and she mentions that we came to the earth, first of all these lessons and stuff like that, but we are creators. We came to the earth to learn to create, and we need another thing I forgot to mention about the energy. To create something out of nothing, we have to have energy to actually power that thing. Because hello, kitty. Because if we don't have energy to create something, it's almost like like the Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, when he created his monster, and he kind of put the pieces together, and oh yeah, I haven't okay, I haven't listened her daughter's stuff, but yeah, Dolores is awesome. Yeah. And okay, definitely up for clearing anything that I think I can't have, or conditions like having a healing room to be able to get more healing clients during clients as an example. Oh, my cat is playing. Yeah, definitely let's add that as well. And okay, so when the Dr. Frankenstein put his monster together, he actually used electricity to put the life into the monster, because it's not enough just to create put the parts together, because he's not gonna do anything. And so he needed electricity, energy, to actually create create that, put the life into the creation. And that's the same thing that we need to do. We need to have energy to actually make something into existence, because when we are depressed, we are low on energies, we are exhausted. I'm not sure, but I have noticed that it's really hard to create anything in that state. And and oh, and I'm putting together another one, is electrifying uh, your body, where you actually clear all the things um, that drains energy from you, from your body. And and all this, and you don't really have to do energy work to actually change energy, because sometimes even just doing a walk, some kind of exercise, drinking plenty of water, eating foods that are actually nourishing your body, is actually creating different energy. And sometimes even meeting with awesome people as well, it actually changes energy. And I'm not sure if you notice that in your life, but sometimes even cleaning your house and tidying it up, it creates more energy in your life. And I know I used to work with a lady called Lisa Bennett, and she worked with spaces, and she looks how when you rearrange your space, you actually create more in your life, and you don't really have to work with anything else, because in her classes you only work with your space. In your classes you only talk, where is your sofa, where is is your pipes okay in a house, and so on. And she doesn't really ask you much about your how you feel and all that sort of course you talk about that too, but the main point is talking about your house. And people are creating awesome stuff, changing their life just by working on their house. So it's not enough just ask for something, you have to actually energize your body, your life, change energy in your life to actually allow something new to come in. And some few weeks ago, I read a quote somewhere on internet, that if you want to create something that never been, that you if you want to create something that you never had before, you will have to do something you have never done before. And that's such an awesome thing to say, because even though with my head I kind of understand, but you kind of forget these things. Okay, enough of chit chat. Let's do some clearings. And so basically, my intention is to include in transmission everything that I have said in the last 46 minutes. And let's clear on obviously Danny's. Still don't get why I haven't created my city car yet. Aw, maybe it's being built. So what I would actually do, what I actually started to do recently, I actually write down. Uh, I write down all the things that comes in my head when I think of that thing, what I'm trying to create, and I'm trying to kind of dissect it. And you Danny work with energy tools as well. I'm sure you can actually use Reiki energy. I know that you do Reiki to actually clear the energies that comes up, or you can actually just put up any of my recordings. Just follow your awareness and ask, because you've done lots of classes with me. Just add one of the recordings in the background, because that's how I'm actually creating that what it was called again, 7-day money challenge, because it's gonna be two-part, two-step Jesus Christ, two-step program, where first part we write down and clear everything that comes up when we all these voices that keeps telling that we can't have, and the second part is actually making an ask. Making an ask. Yeah, the money challenges are on my website if you want to check it out. It's a low cost, it's like a $5 or something. And even though I was thinking to actually do the pre-recorded clearing, but I might do actually live for 7 days. Okay, I might change it, but nothing else is gonna change on that. And yeah. Oh, just lost my thought. Yeah, and you have to actually, first you have to clear all these things, and then you actually have to activate and energize whatever you're actually asking for. And okay, let's, enough is chit chat. Let's do the clearing, and maybe something else can show up. Anamaha sadna shiba lahatena sadna erena ma namasata lahasadehata. Helena mahata satesheda pahata viehata nahata. Eremene miesa moshatua bahato shatua da tapasana vata. Eleme piena mahata pieda pasana hieda pasana hieda vasana. Eremata anasadeshata tirata tuoshata molahana vashata. Ereme henere pasana mieha satojata siedata. Eleme nema hasana basate hatara hasata vasata. Elena malaha nalaha sena malaha shoda pashana vahasanata. Elena mieta pasana shete vieha tohota. Olona maha sanohata shoda pashatawa. Ola hamada shete piehata. Olona miehata shoda showohata. Rema hemeda sana viehata sada hatasata. Rema hanasata deshata kota. Ola hanada sate hebete vieha nada sa. Elena mieda pana mahadashana vahatasata. Henema hasana shatoda tosa nauhota. Erema hana shata bila hadashata hana mahasha. Semeba halava shaviehata. Emema hasana shatohota. Allahana devatasha nami halaha shanahasha. Semeha namahata behta pashana vahashana shota. Herema hanamata peshuta pelhatashata. Herema hanashata doha patoma hashana shota. Alana mahasana vahashatehata. Elemete behta pashana hata shetehata. Alana mahasane mahata shanemehata tohata. Eneme hadera hadasata hieta vata mahata. Eme patasha na mela hadasha na sheda tohota. Oloha na dosha na mieha bata shaneviehata. Erema hanama hasheda pashama shataviesa na vahata. Eleda pana mahasana viehata shoda shata shatahieta. Emiehamada pasana shieta pashoba hasana wasata. Elemehie bahana mahasate hatashata. Semieita pala hatashata tera hatoshata. Elemahanasata bieta bashata desana dasana yehata ruahapa. Emie bahasana viehata ramata. Emiena malohata biehata wa. Shoma hada shoda patara hava. Ere bahana bahasana shabihata. Allah mahana hasana vata. Ele hemehata tohata torata. Ele hener heter hashana shatoshata. Holo hana doshana mahata bihata vashana sata. Ere mahana sata beda shapasa vaheta. Ere mehemie vata. Ere mehene vatara hata vihata. Ere heme virhana arhata rehata rohata. Holo hana mohata shota. Allahana mahata bihata shodata vihasanaba. Ere mahana shata bela hada shata heta. Eme bahado ta bete besanama. Ele mahana da basana vihata shoda. Eme habasata vihata bahata. Oro hamaro hata sodata. Ere mahana lahashana shaheta. Ele hene biha sata shata hota nasata. Emie hamal hata shata. Ele heme debata vasana miehata shota hasata. Ere mahasana bihata toshana hota. Olo hono dosha totoro. Oro hamalu hashana washata bieda savashata. Emie mahasana beheviha wohata. Ere mahamala hashana behevihat. Ele heme viehata shena mashata viehata. Holohana boha shatoda shatoha dosada. Ere hema hasana viehala hada sanata. Eme hema dasata debaha doshata. Eme hema debahata. Eme hada beda bahata vahasa. Ere mahadoshata bievasha viehata. Alana mahala hashana viehata shata. Ele hene diehata shoda vashena mala hashana viehata sana. Ama hana viehata viehasana hada seda. Sina. Asina vaheba. Esina mahasa viehasa toshata pena mahata shadehad. Ele heneda terehata tosata terata. Rieda ta sina mahasana sheda. Wasana viehata arahasana. Ereha mahaseda tapohata. Ereha mahtebashana viechala hata sata. Hamahatebahata. Eleha nasada seheta. Ereha nashoda saviehata shedata. Ereha mabiehata biela hashana taheta. Olohana debahata arahashena vashata heta. Eleha nabiraha nashata bieda satohata hosa. Eleha mededa sadeheta devata tohata. Rohana doshata piena mashatehe savahas. Ereha mate palahashata palahashada sata. Ereha nadeha havia amahade bahava hahieva kasho bahata sanava. Eleheme behata. Eleheme behata mehata. Elehene behata mehava vihata tora patehata toshata. Emi hadabada basada vieda basana. Holohana bir. Holohana bir hane bahalaha vieha. Ene hanama hasanava. Reheme bieha vasana vashata. Allahana bieta balaha tehata ruhat. Holohana miehata shadehilahata. Rehana biehata pieshata miehatasana. Alana besedesata turusa. Rehana dosata shodahatas. Helehana vieha shataset. Helehana vieha namaha savahada. Helehama dead taroha sanaha satohada. Rehama desata viena hashana. Hanada tasanata. Hanada sanata tarahada. Hereda mahasata yehada. Rehama data pesheta patosha tavahasa. Allahana mada khatar khata khatarihata. Holohana beraha paha sanata. Helehana beraha darhat. Helehana beraha darha sada shadasata. Rehana beraha paraha dashata hota. Rehama beta pateshana malha shana shateta. Rehama pera taroha shanoha shadeha shatebata shoda sanata. Holohana behata poraha noraha shonata. Eneheme deda shateda tatoha tatoshana vohata sana vashates. Olhana sana vehata. Ereheme dera hata sata pehata nahata. Olohana doshata tora hanoshata. Tarota tanoshata. Tora tanora shanaroha shanoshata. Allahana doshata pehata voshata. Elehene deha pasana vehata toa mahatoshata tarah sanavata. Erehene behata shana shabehasa. Allahana sedata tosana. Wow, that's a good one. Okay, there are a couple things I got aware of. Was one of the things that Danny, your city car, kept poking me. Do you actually want it? It's a one question. Or do you think that's just a really good idea to have it? And again, all those things that are popping in your head when you ask for it. Because one thing, if we think we want something and we think it's a really good idea to have it, we are actually not willing to put energy into creating that thing. Okay, so that's a... Okay, so you really want a car. So yeah, just look at all the things that are... your voices are telling you whether you can't have it or you don't want to have it, and maybe it's not the time, and blah blah blah. And then become congruent. Just put energy into it. Imagine yourself driving the car, how it feels, and if you really put energy into it and clear all the obstacles, universe has no choice but to deliver that thing to us, and trust that it's actually gonna deliver. Because sometimes we think like we have asked for something and it's still not happening. Maybe there is still little thing that's still missing, and so I promised to myself that I'm actually work on all those places where I doubt myself, like all these things that creeps into my head that I can't have it. And there are a couple things more that I got aware when I was doing the clearings. Is one is the power power plexus, solar plexus. It's our energy hub. It's and why I got aware of it is because sometimes when we ask for something and it's not happening, we or it gets tough. We actually kind of. Uh, I think there was a really good saying, but I don't know how to say it properly. It's when you're like when your hands are like, oh, it's not happening. You know that kind of energy when you just, it's almost the energy of giving up, or I don't have a power, or I don't know what else to do, and this all comes from the solar plexus not being in alignment, or I don't know how else to say that. So I kind of really worked on that, clearing clearing the solar plexus, where we actually almost like collapse it and run with the doubt and all the sadness and oh poor me, I can't have it, or it's not happening for me, or no one wants to love me, and blah blah blah. And another thing I think that's with got aware of heart chakra is about do you really want it, and then comes as well all these beliefs, like underlying beliefs that somewhat got cleared in the call, but you listen it again and again. But when you really know that you want something, I kind of get the perception of a highway, and you just go speeding up in that highway, and the road is clear. There's nothing, just you on a highway on a high speed car like Ferrari, and you just go for it, and there is no these distractions and all these things. And that's kind of comes with a heart chakra, because your heart really knows what it wants, what you want. And so yeah, I kind of think that maybe if you want, you can as a side thing, you can work on those two chakras. But I kind of sense that I guess you have to work on all chakras, because I kind of got awareness of root chakra and sacral chakra too. But never mind. But I just got awareness. Yesterday I did light language transmission that is not in a shop yet, but I'm gonna share it with you anyway. It's clearing all the distractions when it comes to the business and whatever we are asking for. So I'm just gonna share it with you. Okay, I kind of feel like my nose is start to. It's very stuffy in my house today. Okay, so I'm gonna end it here today. And thank you very much for choosing to listen to this class. And yes, oh, I love Denzel. If you ask, you shall receive. I might do another call on receiving, because that's another thing that's really interesting. So thank you very much, and thank you, Danny, for being live with me. And you're gonna get recording in a chat right away, but I'm gonna have a better quality recording with email once it's processed. So have an awesome time asking, have an awesome weekend, and I will see you soon again, and bye bye.